Never eat, cry, PDA, MTA, or wear flats.
Where am I supposed to eat?
In private with the blinds drawn, and whatever you do, never trust the doorman. No. You live with your grandma?
No, she's in a home, but I stay in her apartment, which is probably something I shouldn't have told you because it's rent controlled and the board doesn't know that I'm there.
Do I look like I want a story? You're a client, not a colleague. Now show me what's in your bag.
I need you to create a fake scruff profile and use it on my dad.
Are you out of your fucking...
You want me to sex my father?
Is it any better you want me to?
No, not as you, as Rafa. Okay?
Love is a verb. Love is a fearless on my brain.
Get our own ticket for tonight's show. Something is clearly about to go down.
What in God's name are you wearing?
Your father thought it advisable not to ruffle any feathers tonight, although, to be honest, I would rather be wearing them.
You raised me to be my most authentic self, did you not?
Of course we did. And you are, and we wouldn't have it any other way.
Then you need to start following your own advice. Be you, to hell with what anyone else says.
I did have it tailored.
Yeah, okay, well, I'm excited to see it on you. Go. I'll change too. This is what you look like at night.
It is now.
The assistance of Luna.
She must be exhausted. You should have coffee. I heard the play is very long and full of surprises.
Hey, you just read it yourself. He was hesitant at first, and then he asked if we could come over to my place next weekend. You just steal my phone?
Thank God you were sitting next to us. I cannot be near Max or Aki might put it together.
I really don't think Gossip Girl was referring to you.
Optically speaking, what are you looking for?
Yep. Okay, so I thought that she invited her. She invited her as Davis, though. She made it look like he sent the ticket.
There's Max.
She hides.
Who knew you liked a grand romantic gesture so much?
I am so glad it worked out. Would you excuse me for 1 minute? I should hit
He's
the
like,
bathroom.
what the hell's going on? Julian should have talked to him. She shouldn't have done that.
Oh, God, what did you do?
I'm a huge fan of Jeremy's work, so thank your dad for me. You know what? You deserve a better seat. Here, take my ticket instead. Next time, steal someone else's plan.
But this is obstructed view.
Well, I guess you need to gain some clarity. Let the play around the play begin.
Thought you were supposed to sit with your dads.
You don't like me in the middle? Oh, looks like someone's been doing extra credit homework.
What are you guys doing?
Nothing.
Who? Max's classics teacher.
Of course. Nice to see you. And please, Rafa.
I don't think you two know each other.
No.
That's why Max made him sit next to him, so he can feel all awkward.
Had a
Good setup.
walkthrough in Wilton the day of parent-teacher conferences.
Peanut M&Ms and Tate's.
Peanut M&M's,
They're
definitely.
the gluten-free ones because they were out of the regular.
I'm good. Thank you.
Can't eat in public.
No, I saw Hamilton here.
I die for tickets to
You into that play?
Hamilton. They're so expensive, it's ridiculous.
No doubt it's a work of art.
Of course.
I thought you were coming here with your dad.
It's the least you can do.
Stole his cookies. Should've taken the M&M's too.
Who's that your dad's with?
Why? Do you want to date her too?
She's mine.
Your daughter? You didn't invite me here, did you?
Oh, she's smart.
Alex.
She's very smart. I don't think I would have figured that out like that. I would have been like,
One.
What a coincidence.
Alex 2, go.
Right over the head.
Aaron, go.
The inhuman dog.
There's a 4-block rule. You can't talk about the work until you're 4 blocks away.
I've never known you to wait a half a block to say anything.
Never my intention to hide anything from you.
But you did. And you didn't just hide it, you lied.
I think he's lying to her, not for the sake of lying to her and hide it from her. I think he's not personally ready yet for what's happening in this, what's on the verge of being a serious relationship. He doesn't want to admit that to himself, that he's in a relationship. I don't think it really has anything to do, I mean, maybe it has a little bit to do with Julian, but I think majority of it has to do with him personally.
Both have a public life and a private one. I don't want to do that anymore. You should probably find someone who isn't afraid to be seen with you.
I'm glad that she wasn't mean to her. Julian's smart enough to know, like, it really isn't her fault.
George doesn't understand our little social experiment. He went to public school in suburbia where everybody was nice to each other.
This isn't something you joke about.
That firm exposed billionaires.
I did place a firewall on the school servers.
These people invented firewalls. You should quit now before your entire careers are destroyed.
They just hate the noise.
That's what it is, though.
I
It's
can't
the
help but
epitome of
worry.
noise.
You know why I was fired? My boss, a father at your school, knew I knew he had expensed escorts.
You could expose him.
I've already lost my job. I don't want to lose my integrity on top of that.
We are a bit wrapped up in it.
Well, of course we are. We created it.
Maybe we should be considering if it's worth risking everything we care about. I like being a teacher.
I guess it's Evo's gender-swapped My Fair Lady with Gyllenhaal instead.
Are you kidding me? It's exactly what Broadway needs after a year on pause. What it doesn't is another revisal of anything, especially one devised by white people. Have you never read Chang'e? Albee? Fornez?
Hey, who are you? Let's find a less confrontational space and have a little talk.
And that's what you get for having an opinion and expressing it. That's why Luna is wrong.
Pops is on scruff. Yeah, he's got an active profile that says newly single.
Not with me. No. You mean not with you? I think your son can explain.
I love you, but when I fell in love with you, you were different. You've changed, and I'm not sure
You like it mask. Is that it? And instead of talking to me about it,
I still want you. Only you.
You want the version of me you're comfortable with.
Yeah.
20 years together, I'm shocked that you can't see that the only thing that has changed here is you.
Why would you do that to me?
You did it to yourself.
This to us.
Yeah. Oh, Max is so hurt. That's the first time I've ever seen him be serious.
I was in the middle of speaking and you just kind of left.
I was just confused because you've been so weird all night.
I thought maybe why you said you wanted something different. You're actually pretty comfortable with what you already know.
I want you to be who you are. All right, you understand why I ended it with Julian.
Have you thought about how you might have contributed to that? That you didn't lose her, but she got lost behind you? I mean, it's really hard to date the Prince of New York when even he won't admit that that's who he is.
Do you mind if I,
Do the right thing? Never.
I know that I said that I didn't like who you'd become. Should have realized and accepted some responsibility for my part of that. You know, if I had looked too closely, I might see some of myself, too.
Forgot who I was a little. Everyone has, apparently, except for her.
Which is ironic because this whole episode she hasn't been herself.
Maybe I needed you to walk away to see that I could stand on my own.
I know I shouldn't tell you this, but a tip came into the Gossip Girl DM.
Are they using... Oh my gosh, I'm about to get super annoyed. They're either going to use her as gossip or they're going to use what her husband said, even though he said that he didn't want to expose that.
Your husband's former boss, and Kate didn't want to tell you. She thought you might get upset.
Oh my god, really? What was it?
One of the escorts he hired was a senior at Constant. Expose the truth one final time. Might even get your husband's old boss fired, get his job back. Remember the firewall? You're protected only at school during school hours.
Oh my gosh,
A bit out of control?
That's what you like, isn't it? To relinquish control, or is that only with me? I tell you what, let's ask some of your other candidate. Robert?
No.
Oh, he's cute.
Oh,
Is that-
no.
Is that your phone? Why is that on your phone? What is
You fucked up too. You fucked me, and you wanted to. Guys, come on. It is time that we all stop hiding. You don't do it for each other anymore. You just do me. But you can't have me. Nobody can have.
I wanted you to feel like you were the only woman in my life, because you are.
Oh.
So I made a choice that I would always keep my dating life private. Couldn't be more sorry. I never want to lie to you again.
Why is Davis
I
like
think
the
that we can
perfect
both agree to
father?
do better.
I'd really like to meet her.
Yeah. Why do I feel like there's something else happening though? Like I feel like Davis and Julian's relationship has been almost like too perfect. Every time they have a problem, they just work it out and everything's great and everything's fine. Like he's a really good dad and she's a very understanding kid, and I just feel like something is gonna blow up. I don't know. It's also why I feel like there's more to the whole Zoya and her mom's situation.
I'd like to kiss you right now.
The doorman's gonna be like, oh my god, I was joking!
I don't appreciate being used. I had no idea it would blow up like that. Just didn't realize it would hurt this fucking much when it did.
You know why the play's the thing? Because it holds up a mirror to our...
No. Don't let a student sleep over your house. No. I don't even need to explain that one. What do you... involved you in a lie, made a fake profile with your picture. So I made it private. And Julian's leaving her phone at home?
Confronting a painful reality. Deepest fantasy.
I need a Constance hat. I need a Constance Billiard beanie.
Did you like it?
I didn't.
Not like it.
I don't want to do it again. Do you?
Of course not.
They're gonna be like, let's try it together.
Isn't it all a performance anyway?
Couldn't resist posting it. But at least now you know your firewall didn't work.
Could have happened to any of us.
I'll miss you both.
That is so messed up. I want to hear what the hell you have to say about this, Kate, because she was literally the only one that was like, I like being a teacher. I like my job. We should stop. And they freaking used her. Now, granted, I don't think they knew that they weren't using her to try to test the firewall, but they were using her to give that information when they could have easily just did it. Now they've ruined her life. These teachers are pissing me off.
You turn the firewall back on?
They weren't using her to try to test the firewall.
You turn the firewall back on? God, why do I feel so terrible?
Because you're a fuckhole.
It was her or us. Gossip Girl's gone citywide. The target's off our back. And impossible to trace, bigger than ever.
Peak posting hours about to strike. I left my phone at home. Consider me offline today.
You tried, probably get her
but Zoya's
views
clearly not
itself.
playing along. That buffalo needs to go.
I haven't, Tal.
All the world may be a stage. It's all in the execution. XOXO. Gossip Girl.
Ooh, can't wait to see that promo. We need to get the teachers out of the way. My gosh, I can't. They're so frustrating. I just hate the teachers section of it so much that I honestly don't even pay attention to the names. Kate and Barrett call Rima with the annoying... I'm not even going to bother looking up the other one's name because as I stated in the reaction, she is so obnoxious. The one with the curly hair that ended up calling Rima. I really, really do not like her. She's very conniving, very sneaky, very just... I don't like her character. I'm sorry. It's nothing against the actress. I just don't like her character. And she calls Rima and she's like, oh, we have this intel, this like gossip, this tip on this thing that has to do with your husband, which was a complete freaking lie because they're using what Rima and her husband had said when they had dinner with them, which they blatantly made clear. Like he blatantly made it clear that he did not want to expose that. He said, I'm going to lose my integrity. You know, I suggest that you guys stop as well because they're catching on. These people are the people who created firewalls. There's no way they're not going to find out. They totally set her up. And again, I've talked about the parallels between our kids who, holy crap, I didn't know Zoya was 14. I knew that they were high schoolers. I knew that they were young. I assumed that they were all in like the 16, 17, 18 range. Freaking teen? That was a little too young. I feel like they shouldn't have made her that young. I don't remember how old Serena and Blair and them were when they were, but they were in high school. And again, I've talked about this. The lure of Gossip Girl is you have these young adults who are very, very young. They're high schoolers, but they act like they're adults. And their lives are intriguing and interesting because of that, because you forget that they're kids. So the parallel with this and this new reboot of this Gossip Girl, the kids are still adults, but you have the adults acting like kids, acting like high schoolers, acting like teens. If you notice, like every time the kids have an issue, they kind of work it out, they kind of figure it out, or they take the right approach to figuring it out after making a few mistakes along the way, sure, but they always fix it. The teachers take the like shady, immature, gossipy side, and it's just so frustrating. I know that they're trying to show that like these are the kids, they should be acting crazy, but it's the teachers. Isn't that silly? Yeah, and I'm bored with it now. I don't like it at all. I love the show so far. First reaction, I was like, I liked it, but I'm gonna give it another shot. The second episode, I was like, I still like it, but I don't like the teachers. Now, the third episode, I like it. I love it. I hate the teachers. The teachers are so freaking obnoxious. It like makes me annoyed. It's not even that love to hate kind of thing. You know, like that, like this person is such a terrible person in the show, but I love to hate them because they're the villain. No, I really don't like the teachers. I don't like the teachers. I don't like the characters. Kate is obnoxious. She's very like creepy in the way she says things. And this is a 14-year-old girl. This is a 14-year-old girl, and you're exposing her life on the internet for the sake of controlling. And as I stated in the reaction when they had the meeting with all of the teachers, where she's like, oh, the kids aren't going to have their phones. That's bad for business. The whole point of business is to get control over the students so that you can be a good teacher to them and teach. But now you want them to have their phones so that they can gossip on Gossip Girl, which would result in them not paying attention to your class. But now that doesn't matter anymore. It's all over the place with the teachers, and it's so annoying. And I'm so frustrated. I don't even want to talk about it anymore. So let me know what you think in the comments about that. I really hope that they write them off. I'm not kidding. There's been a lot of people in the comments saying, I think that Gossip Girl is going to be taken over by someone. The power is going to be taken away from them. I pray that that is what happens. Fingers and fucking toes crossed that happens, because they're ruining the show for me. I don't know if anybody else feels like that. I know a few of you do, because I know that you've been commenting, but the teachers are literally ruining this show. It is a fantastic show aside from the teachers. Is it cheesy? Sure. Are there issues with it? Sure. But if the teachers weren't in it, I would be like, right now I'm enjoying it at like an 80%. Maybe an 85. If the teachers weren't in it, it would be at like a 95. Fucking hate the teachers. Moving on. I'm done. Moving on. Let's go in order of our picture here. So Max exposes his father to his other father, and I think that he did it in a way that it shouldn't have happened like that. Very, very slick that he had the teacher sitting next to him and that made his dad all nervous, and that was interesting to watch. I feel like maybe that was Max's way of kind of opening up to Rama a bit. I don't think he just wants to hook up with him and be done with it. I think he actually likes him and he's interested in him. So maybe that was like a little bit of a way to open up to him. Like, hey, this is why I am the way I am. I have problems too. I don't know. All I know is I feel so bad for his dad and the one who got hurt. I don't know their names yet. Again, the adults' names are kind of elusive to me. But the one dad leaves, the one that's cheating, and I feel so bad, but that is good. It's good. It's therapeutic. We'll be okay. He also exposes Aki and Audrey to each other, which I thought was really interesting, because when Audrey and Aki talk later on, he's like, did you like it? I did not like it. Okay, let's move on. They kiss and they make up and they walk away. It's like they're still hiding the fact that they don't want to confront what is actually going on, what is actually happening, which is, like I said at the beginning, they love each other. They're just not in love with each other. And it's easier to just be like, okay, I'm sorry, let's move on and go back to normal, than actually face that and have an actual conversation and talk about it. I really hope that they do soon, though, because Max is going into a downward spiral and he needs people that care about him. And I really do think that they both care about him. Also, the hell are you thinking? You're a teacher. Don't invite a student to sleep on your couch. You're insane. Not to mention, one that just made up a fake dating profile with your picture to sabotage his parents' relationship. He is clearly someone who you do not want to mess with. Don't have him sleep on your couch. Moving on. Luna, you crazy bitch. I said this in the first 2 reactions. I love Luna and Monet because they're insane. They're crazy. And so the whole Luna specifically trying to turn Zoya into the new Julian was really funny. I thought it was going to last a little longer than it did. I'm not necessarily disappointed that it didn't. I mean, it wrapped up in a way that, you know, it would have wrapped up that way in 2 episodes if they dragged it on. So I'm fine with that. But I like more so that they are now going on the scheme of we're going to destroy Zoya. Like, listen, Julian is the it girl. Even if she doesn't want to do it anymore, we're going to make her do it because that's who she is and that's what we need. So we're going to expose Zoya, and I believe it is via the video that Julian had showed them at the party in the last episode. We still don't know what was on that video. We don't know what happened. Some people in the comments were theorizing that maybe it was like a protest or something at her old school. That's the reason she got kicked out. I want to find out what this is. I want to know what this is. And I let the sneak peek promo slide into the credits. I didn't watch it, but the only thing that I heard in the promo was them say, it's Zoya's birthday. So I don't think it's going to be a good birthday. I am excited to find out what the secret is, though. Obi, I don't like you. I don't like you. He has this attitude of where like, I'm rich, but I use it for good. I'm like a Robin Hood. I like to help people. I'm so kind. Aren't I so kind? And it's like, no, you're an asshole. You're an asshole because, again, I like that they had him and Julian talk at the end of this, so it's like, you know, do the right thing. But it came too late. 2, I don't believe you. And 3, you still have this gross attitude. I still do not like that they had Obi and Zoya get together so quickly. That should have been like an episode 4 or 5 thing. All these little lovey-dovey moments I can't get into. I can't like it because I like Julian too much and I respect her. First episode, Julian and Zoya were like on par. And then the second episode, I was like, I like Julian a little better. Zoya's kind of acting funky, but she's in a school, a new environment. This is a lifestyle that she's not used to. I'll give her the benefit of the doubt. And now I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like, Julian is this person who is just like, she's well thought out. She's still making silly decisions, but she's a kid. Zoya, I have to keep in mind that she's 14. So yeah, she's not going to be making the right decisions all the time. She's not going to be as smart with her thought process. For her age, she does pretty well. I'll give her that. But they're making me not like Zoya, and now I hate Obi because it's just obnoxious. I wish it was like a slower burn. I wish it was a slower burn. I wish they would have like hung out a few times or had like flirty moments or whatever. But now he's already having dinner with her dad. And Nick, you like him? Nick, I had better faith in you. Scrutinize that boy more. Don't just like him. So I don't know. I don't like the whole Obi and Zoya situation. I don't like that relationship, and they're kind of starting to bore me whenever they're on the screen. Monet we didn't get much from, but we saw Monet hooking up with the girl when Luna was getting drunk, texting on her phone. So that's a fun new little twist to her character. I'm not sure if that means that she's a lesbian or she's bi, but I feel like they're showing that to open up a segue into a different kind of situation with her because we haven't gotten much out of Monet. Aside from her being like Julian's sidekick and Luna's partner in crime, we haven't really gotten much out of Luna either until this episode. So I'm excited to see what they do with Monet's character and where they go with her moving forward. But oh, and Davis. I'll say that'll be the last thing. The whole thing with Davis and his girlfriend, Lola. I really like Lola, and I think that Lola could be really good for Julian. We clearly had this bonding moment with them in the bathroom before they knew that they had this attachment through Davis, and I think that the whole situation with her will be really good for both him and her. Davis, again, I mentioned in the reaction, just seems to be like this perfect dad where he makes mistakes, but then he acknowledges it, he apologizes, and they move past it. That's kind of why I can see why Julian is the way she is, which leads me to believe that there's more going on with Julian and Zoya's mother and that whole situation with Nick. I get that from what we know, she left Davis because Nick stole her away and they're very angry at each other. But maybe, as I said before, this in the last reaction, this whole thing was blown out of proportion because clearly it all came out and they were just like, all right, we'll be cool about it. It wasn't that big of a deal. So maybe the kids were making a bigger deal out of it than it actually was. Or maybe there's something else going on there. There's something else going on there that they're not talking about. Interesting. Someone in the comments brought up that maybe it was like a secret relationship between Davis and Nick. I don't know if they're going to do that now. At first I was like, that's very plausible. I can see that happening. Now after this episode, I'm not so sure. I feel like he is really into Lola. He's been with Lola for a while, so I mean that doesn't mean that it still can't happen, but I don't feel like maybe that is the direction they would take now. But yeah, overall, great episode. Loved it. Hate Obi. Despise the teachers. And I want to jump into this promo, so let's do that. Everyone throw a like up or dislike if you do or do not like what you see, but comment down below. Let me know why. Subscribe if you have not yet. We do fun things here. Ring-a-ling-a-ling, the bell to be notified when I upload videos. And don't forget to check the link down in the description for my Patreon. But let's go check that promo. So long, everyone. Try and make someone smile today. You never know when you might need it next. Bye.